Hi, this is Travis with Two Brothers Adventures. Today I'm going to be talking about the refillable windproof butane lighter. We're going to review it against our standardized checklist of fire starting devices. For more information on that checklist or on this video series, check out the video link we'll throw on the page now. Alright, so as far as packaging on this one, it came in a blister pack on a cardboard backer. This particular one is an Eddie Bauer edition. I purchased it at Walmart, or not Walmart, I'm sorry, Target. And so there are various different models and makes of these. As far as weight, we'll go ahead and weigh it. This has been, we just filled it up so it's completely full. This one weighs 2.4 ounces. It's going to vary by style, a little bit lighter, a little bit heavier depending on what it is. This particular one is metal encased in a kind of a rubber shield, and there's like a compass on it. Some of them have thermometers, other things like that on the outside, so it depends on what they are. As far as cost, this one costs about $15. These can go anywhere from $10, $15 all the way up to super high-end ones that are really expensive. But they all kind of work on the similar concept of that it's a butane lighter, flameless with a kind of a coil inside. How this one works, you fill it up with butane and you depress this, and there's a coil in there that you can see that glows, and the butane shoots across it, and that's what heats up and makes it windproof. So that's how it works. We're going to skip over burn time because it's as much burn time as fuel as you have. We're going to move right on to the water test. For the first water test, the damp mist test, I'm going to take this water bottle, I'm going to spray it 3 times, and we'll see if it lights. I'm going to do it first closed, like it's intended to be closed like this. And this should light without issue because it should have protected the inside, which it did. Now I'm going to make sure, I'm going to focus the spray kind of right inside, and we'll see if we can get it to light. So it passed the damp mist test. Let that dry off nice and good. We'll move on to the dip test. So for the dip test, first I'm going to dip it closed. Shake out the water. And there was actually some water in there that blew out with the pressure from the fluid. So passed that way. Now I'm going to dip it open. Shake it all out as much as I can. So we're not getting a strike. I'm going to blow it out. I smell butane, so getting fuel, but doesn't look like any spark. So it looks like it's going to fail the dip test open. So it's designed to be closed, but if you happen to drop this open, yeah, it looks like it's not going to light until it dries out. So we'll go ahead and let this dry out, and then we'll do the soak test. Okay, so we've let this, I blew this out really good, and we've let it dry off, and it's actually lighting again after the dip test. So if this fell or got wet somehow in like the dip test, you could blow it out really good and let it dry out, and you might get it to start again. So in this case, it did after, but it wouldn't initially light. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the soak test. So for the soak test, we're going to let it soak 2 minutes. We're going to do it closed first, and then we'll do it open as well to simulate both ways. So I'm going to start the timer. We'll drop it in here for 2 minutes. Get it to fit in. There we go. And we'll pull it out and see if we can get it to light. Okay, we're coming up on the 2-minute mark. We'll get ready to pull this out. If I dropped it in a second or two late to get it to fill up, I'll pull it out a little bit late to get it. Alright. Since we knew it failed the dip test, I'm going to try to blow this out really good first. Right off the bat, see if we can get it to light. So, you can see a little bit of spark. You can smell a lot of fluid. Blow out again. Shake it. Not even seeing a spark right now. Alright, so it looks like it's going to fail the soak test, so there's no point in actually soaking this open because even closed. This particular one doesn't have an O-ring design. I know there's some that have an O-ring design and that'll clip shut and keep it sealed and they're watertight. This particular model doesn't have it, so even open, they got sufficient enough water in there to make it fail the soak test. So we'll go ahead and move on to the wind test. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do the wind test. We're going to do the wind test with this bank of 3 fans that's down here to simulate the wind, and we got a yardstick. I'm going to start out, I have this turned all the way up to high. I'm going to start out at the end here with the lit, see if I can get all the way down to the fans. If I can, then I'm going to try to light it right at the fans. So it's supposed to be windproof, so there we go, so it's lit. Alright, so definitely still going. Then we try lighting right here at the fans. So this definitely passes the wind test. Okay, so we just did the wind test, and this passed the wind test, but I forgot to do the one-handed test, so I'm going to go ahead and do the one-handed test on this. So to open it up, and so it definitely passes the one-handed test without any kind of problem. So for conclusion on this particular lighter, or the butane style lighters of this type, it passed the mist test both closed and open without issue. It passed the dip test closed, but open it failed the dip test initially until it sufficiently dried out, as well as the soak test it failed. But with the water test on these, once we blew it out really good and gave it time to dry, it did light. So if these do get wet, you can wait a sufficient amount of time and they might work again. And then it passed the wind test, which is what it's designed to be for. It's supposed to be windproof. So that's a wrap up on the butane style windproof lighter.